recipes. Some recipes will tell you that, oh yeah, this is only 30 minutes. And then when you look at the recipe, it's going to take you 30 minutes just to cut, chop, and do everything like that. So I'm truly going to bring you 30-minute recipes. The one I did last night was a chicken and broccoli stir fry. Delicious. Definitely check it out. But tonight we're going for something sweet, and I have the easiest chocolate chip cookies. So this is actually pinned to my site. It's one of my most popular posts, not the most one, but these cookies are incredibly easy. And the difference is this. Normally when you make chocolate chip cookies, you have to have softened butter. And that's the deal. Oh, I need softened butter. Oh, I forgot to do it. I can't make it. This recipe calls for melted butter. So we're just going to put them in here. And we're going to melt the butter. It makes it so much easier. All right, let's see. You know I don't have everything, right? Hang on. Never have everything that I need. So I will post this recipe to make sure that you guys are seeing it. So I make this recipe literally every week for my husband. He eats them all. He loves them. But what I love about this recipe is that it is super easy to make. But you know, when I usually make chocolate chip cookies, they come flat, and these don't. They're nice and puffy. So you'll really enjoy that part of it. Okay, it needs just a little bit more. Remember, when you go to melt your butter, just always watch it and make sure you always have a lid over top of it so it doesn't explode in your microwave. But you should do it for like 20-second increments, and then as you go on, maybe 10-second increments, because it'll melt really nice and fast. I keep forgetting I have a cuckoo clock, and I come on right when it's ringing. All right, so it's ready to go. See, all melted. So we have melted butter, number one. And then this is 1/2 of a cup, which is 1 stick of melted butter. And then we need some sugar. Let's see. Oh, I should bring my other sign out. Baker's gonna bake. All right, so now this is 1/2 of a cup of sugar. And I never said my recipes were healthy. I will say they're delicious. All right, so 1/2 of a cup of white sugar. You could use cane sugar too if you want. And then 1/4 of a cup of brown sugar. So whenever I have brown sugar, I always give you my secret for keeping it fresh. I have a disc in here. It's a terracotta disc, but you can also use just a piece of bread. If you put a piece of bread in any of your sugars, you really don't need it in your regular white sugar. It's more of the brown sugar and confectioner's sugar that gets really hard. So if you put just a piece of bread in there, it will stay soft forever. Your bread will get brick hard, but the actual sugar itself stays nice and soft. And that's what you want. All right. So this is melted butter and the sugars. And then the other thing too is you don't need a mixer for this. So let's see what time we started, and we'll see how long it takes from start to finish to get these cookies going. I did put my oven on 350 degrees already. I got a couple of, so sometimes your sugar will be in little, oh, here's a crisp one. I don't want any crisp ones in here. Sometimes your sugar gets a little bit, I don't want to say hard, but it's in like little balls. And you'll see it. Let me see if I can show you. I'm not sure. Can you see how there's some dark balls in there? You don't want that either, because you want the sugar to spread out over all of your cookies. If you do it like that, it'll end up, just making some sweet. So, all right, let me see. Did I put a little cloth in here? Getting smart. All right, Lynn. All right, so here's this all done. Ready to go. And now we're going to add in 2 teaspoons of vanilla. Now listen, it's really important to use pure vanilla. I know it's expensive. If you live near a Costco, this is like $11. I think that's how much it is at Costco. And it'll last you a really long time, as opposed to going to the regular grocery store and spending $6 on a tiny little one like this. But it must be pure vanilla. Vanilla, what do you call it? Fake vanilla. I don't know what they call it, but anyhow, it's not real. You want pure vanilla extract. And if you ever travel, it's really cool because you can take some home with you. I actually have some vanilla from when I visited Grenada. I think it's Grenada. All right. So we have 2 teaspoons of vanilla and an egg. You want to try to leave your egg out at room temperature. They always tell you to do that. It just will solidify better. And this is how easy this recipe is, guys. And it's the best. It's funny, I was away this past weekend. My grandson lives out of state, and I go to visit him pretty much once a month. And my husband ran out of cookies when I was gone. And he was like, "Are you making me my cookies anytime soon?" I was like, "I will make them for you tomorrow night." All right, now we have to put in the dry ingredients. So we have baking soda. And it's very important you pay attention. Baking soda, not baking powder. They do different things. This is 1/2 of a teaspoon. These are those little teaspoon things that I love. They're magnetic. They all stick together. Love it. All right, 1/2 of a teaspoon. Make sure it's good. The one thing with baking, I talked about this the other night, is baking is precise. You can't just throw in whatever you want, especially when it comes to this kind of stuff. You have to have it exact. All right, 1/2 teaspoon baking soda, 1/2 teaspoon kosher salt. All right, something about that kosher salt. All righty. These are my cute little spice jars. I love them. I have a whole little drawer of spices. It's my favorite thing. All right, and then we're going to add the flour. So let's grab our flour. Let me put this one back in. When you go to measure flour, flour is different, and you have to measure it properly. And as I say that, I'm not even going to do it the way I should. So when you do your brown sugar, you push it all down, but you don't do that with flour. You want to fluff your flour up. A lot of people actually even sift their flour, but I don't need to sift it with this recipe, but you can see that I just fluff it up a little bit. This one already comes with like half a cup. So I just use this, and then it has a leveler, makes it really nice and easy. But you can also spoon it in, but you want to be careful doing that because again, you do not want to push your flour down. Every time you measure flour, you want it to be nice and fluffy. All right, so here's 1 cup, and it's actually 1 3/4 of a cup of flour. So that was 1 cup. Here's 1 1/2. And then where's that little 1/4 cup? Here's my little 1/4 cup. And now we are good to go. Now I'll have to change this out. This doesn't work so well once we put the bigger ingredients in. So I'll just grab a spoon. Do I have a spoon? Yes, I do. Just be careful because the flour will come up and hit you, right? So listen, you can double this batch if you want. And the other thing too is you can also make a double batch and freeze half of it. Now, you can actually freeze it big like this, or even better, you'll see me when I go to scoop it out, right, with the little balls. Go ahead and freeze it with the little balls. They call that flash freezing. So what you'll do is you'll take the little balls, you'll put them on a pan, and you'll put it in the freezer, and it's called flash freezing. And the reason is because if you put them all together in a plastic bag or in a plastic container, they will end up sticking together and you won't be able to get them out. But if you put it on a flat sheet, right, and just flash freeze it, then they'll each be their own little frozen ball. And when you go to unfreeze them, you can take out 1, 2, or 3 at a time. What's really nice about that is, especially if you get company and, you know, all of a sudden you're having company, you didn't expect it, but you don't, you know, you want to make something, but, you know, you don't really have the time. If you have it frozen, it's awesome. Or if you just get a hankering and you want a chocolate chip cookie, you can literally make one. Do it in the air fryer. So this is what the batter is going to look like. This is just a single batch. All right. And then we have to add the chocolate chips. Now, you can get creative here. You can add nuts if you'd like. My husband hates nuts, so we don't put nuts in any of our foods. I wasn't joking when I said I make these every week. Here's my chocolate chips. And what else? You can also add like butterscotch chips or mint chips, right? Do it whichever way you want. This calls for 1 cup of the semi-sweets. So here's, and this does not have to be perfect, right? Not have to be perfect at all. I don't want to dip this in. Usually I will, but this was my sugar one, so it still has sugar and I didn't want to dip it in. All right. Got it? And then, of course, if any of them fall on the counter, just eat them. All right. Done. And then that's how easy it is. And then let me show you how I scoop them out. I already put the oven on 350 degrees. If you have a convection oven, definitely do that. It makes them even nicer. All right, so we're done. How long did that take me? Less than 10 minutes to make that recipe. I have these great pans that I love. They are from, I think it's called USA Baking, USA Pan. Sometimes you find them at Costco. Can you tell I'm a Costco lover? They're the best. Love these pans. You don't have to put any, and you're not supposed to actually, put any like nonstick spray or oil on them, and they're just perfect. See how they have the ridges in them? Let me turn this a little bit so that you can see. There you go. So I use a scoop. It just makes things easier, and then all of them are the one size. I'm going to experiment tonight. I do them exactly with one scoop. These will rise. They don't really spread very much, so you can actually put almost them next to each other. They're about an inch apart, and they'll come really fluffy. Now, you're going to cook these. You'll see how my recipe says 7 to 10 minutes. And I know that that's a big difference because of the fact that everybody's oven is different. If you have an older oven, you'd be surprised sometimes that it does not cook at what you think it cooks at. You can buy a temperature gauge and put it right in your oven, and it'll tell you what your oven actually is. So when I first made these cookies, I put them on for 7 minutes, and then I checked them, and then I put them on for a minute, and now I know for my oven, they work perfectly at 9 minutes. But you'll have to check your oven and see. When you go to take them out, they actually won't look done. They're not super brown, and they won't look done, but they are done. And you'll see. What I'm going to experiment with is using a bigger scoop. So on my second batch, because there'll be enough for another batch, I have a bigger scoop. And I want to see if they can have big cookies. All right. So you can also use these and not put the chocolate chips in. If you want, you can go ahead and put in like sprinkles, right? Rainbow sprinkles. Do you call them sprinkles or jimmies? Is that a geographical thing? Like I live in New Jersey. Is that a geographical thing that we call them sprinkles, not jimmies? Anyhow, they have rainbow jimmies. I call them jimmies, not sprinkles. They have just the chocolate ones. And so you can make kind of like a sugar cookie by doing it that way. But this is just the perfect recipe. I came upon it a little bit over a year ago. My girlfriend, shout out to Wendy. My girlfriend gave it to me, and it's been the best. I've tried other recipes, but like I said, mine come flat. When I was down the shore this year, that's another geographical thing. I live in New Jersey. I live about an hour from the beach, but we don't call it going to the beach. We call it going to the shore. When I went to the shore, I had run out of cookies, and I just went and bought like the Toll House ones. Hang on, is it ready? Yep, it's ready. So we're going to go in. We're going to go 9 minutes. And then I'll show you what else I'm going to do. Use my microwave. Okay. We went and I bought like the Nestle, they have like a tub, for lack of a better word, that you can go to the grocery store and just buy a tub of Nestle Toll House cookies. And so I did that to make cookies for the family at the beach. And it was really interesting because, so I always thought it was me that was making my cookies come out flat. But I bought the Nestle one, like the real one, and they still came out flat. So I don't quite understand that. Let me see if I have any questions. I miss them sometimes. I was trying to do it where you could actually see it. Last night I tried, but it didn't work. All right, so now I'm going to try my second batch. I'm going to try it with the bigger scoop. So you guys will have fun with me because I don't know how this is going to turn out. So this is a bigger scoop. It's probably twice as big. I don't know if these tell you how big they are. Okay. Normally I get 1, 2, 3, 4. How many cookies did I have in there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 20. I think that I get about, I don't quite get 40 cookies. Like I don't get 2 complete sheets when I do this recipe. So now let's try the big ones. I'm going to put them a little bit further apart. It's interesting though, because some people, like, you know, they tried this recipe and they comment underneath the pinned post, and most of the people are like, that was the best recipe ever. Everybody loved it, blah, blah, blah. But there's a couple people that it didn't turn out well for them. And I don't understand that, because it's turned out well for me every single time. Like, I don't know what wouldn't turn out really well. But anyhow, so let's look at the time. We've been on for about, well, I'm looking at the timer, that doesn't count, about 15 minutes, and it's going to cook for 9. So I guess in 30 minutes, there you go. I still made it within my 30. In 30 minutes, you will have your cookies. There is something to be said about homemade cookies. It's just the smell when you walk in the door, and I don't know, it just brings back wonderful, wonderful memories for me. What about you guys? Do you feel the same way? So here's my second batch. So it's not going to be as much, you know, because they're actually a double batch. And then let me just get the very last remnants in here, and we'll see how they turn out. I'm going to keep you live so that you can see. No funny business here. Here we go. All right, that was perfect. So let's see. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this is going to be 9 of that size. And what's the other one? 20 of those. All right, we'll see how it goes. Now we got wash to do. I always usually have a partner in crime, and whoever makes the food, the other person cleans it up. So that makes it really nice and easy. All right, so here's the deal. I'm going to come on a daily basis, and I'm going to show you 30-minute recipes that you can get in and out. Definitely check the one I just did yesterday. It was for a chicken and broccoli stir fry. I didn't do any pre-cutting. I did everything right here so that you could see, and in 30 minutes, we had a really wonderful meal. It was chicken and broccoli, and what else was in there? Chicken, broccoli, peppers, sesame seeds, all that kind of stuff. So you definitely want to check it out. I have lots of different recipes that I'm going to come on for you, but tell me what you want. All right. Are you looking for chicken recipes? Are you looking for meat recipes, vegetarian recipes? Tell me what it is you're looking for, and I will strive to find a recipe for you. When you go on my site, you'll see lots and lots of different recipes. If you're new to me, hi, my name is Linda Bradley, and I am actually a Princess House consultant. I've been with Princess House for 40 years. Princess House has all kinds of incredible cooking and products, not so much the baking products. None of these are Princess House. Well, the bowl is, and some of the utensils and all, but not the pans. But I started to do videos when COVID came, and I did it just help my customers get over the boredom. And I would come on every day and do lunch with Linda, and I tried all kinds of new recipes. And it's really interesting what you do when you learn new recipes. I was saying that I don't like it when recipes give you all these fancy ingredients. Like, who's got time for that? Most of you guys are, working. You come home from work, you got to get the kids all wrangled up. I have 4 children, but they're all grown now. But trust me, I remember what that was like. Dinner was never one of my favorite things because I just never had the time to be able to do it. And I used to work at night. Like how Princess House used to work was I would go and do presentations, right? So at around 6 o'clock, I would leave. My husband would be on duty then, because then I would drive and go to somebody's house to do a 7 o'clock show. And so for me, dinner was crazy. The kids got out of school at 3:30. I was leaving the house at 6 o'clock. They came home. I had to get their homework done and then get dinner done. Those were not fun days. So that's why I try to give you 30-minute meals. You can do this. And like I said, you can do it in bits and pieces. These are what I'm talking about, that you can literally take this and put it in the freezer just like this for maybe 10 minutes. It's called flash freezing. And you'll see that they'll get really cold. And then you can just throw them in a plastic bag. We do a lot of freezer in plastic bags because it just saves so much room. And you could literally open it up and just take one out. You can flash freeze with a lot of things. I make homemade pancakes. Again, if you're trying to get the kids out the door in the morning, but you want to give them a good hot breakfast, not just cereal, I make pancakes ahead of time. Yes, I will put sometimes blueberries in them, and I will put sometimes mini chocolate chips. They love that, but you're only putting a couple, right? It's not crazy. But then I will flash freeze them. I'll make a whole big batch, flash freeze them. Then they can go in a plastic bag. And then on the mornings that you're super busy and you don't have time, you can literally stick them in the toaster or put them in an air fryer or, a toaster oven, and they are as good as new. Grocery prices are so high. I don't have to tell you that. You already know. Making it on your own is an incredible savings, and you don't put any of those artificial preservatives in there that they all come from. If you have children that are older, I have a granddaughter who's 3. She'll help me make these cookies. If you involve your children in cooking and baking, it is more likely that they will eat what you make, even if it's vegetables, because they had a hand in it. Same thing as if you grow a garden and you let them help you, pick from the garden. They are more likely, they take pride in that. So I know you guys are busy. Trust me, been there, done that. But when you get your kids involved, you will see that it helps you out tremendously. And the kids are enjoying it. Then they learn how to cook, right? How else are they going to learn? So as they get older, they can even do some of these things totally on their own, except for the oven. So you'll have to make sure that they have somebody to help with. Oh my gosh, it's so hot in my kitchen. But when I turn on my fan, everything blows around. I never had a stove before. I always had electric. And I just had my kitchen redone like about a year and a half ago. And I have gas. And I never understood. So when I put my fan on in the kitchen, it actually affects my flame. The other day, it actually blew out the flame. I smelled gas. I was like, what is that? And it was that. Isn't that crazy? Does that happen to you guys as well? Or is my fan just super strong? Super strong. I want to thank all of you for joining. I know that you're probably new to me because I don't normally post live on this channel, but I decided to come on and bless you with my presence. So I live in New Jersey. Can you hear my accent? New Jersey is a really funny state. Oh, we're almost done. Because New Jersey is a really funny state because, hold on, let me get something to put these on. We are really 2 states in one. And if you think about it, we're really 3 states in one. All right. Everything sings in my kitchen. Everything. If you get any new appliances, they sing. All right, let's see what we got. You ready? Let's go. Okay, these are perfect. 9 minutes for me. Now again, can you see? Can you see that they're fluffy? Right? That they kind of almost don't look done, but they're done. Let me put the other one in. Oh, I almost thought this was hot. I'm like, wait, what? All right, 9 minutes. Now, I wonder if these need more time. We're going to have to test that out because those are bigger. I wonder if they'll need more time. I also got this tray that can work really well to let you want to let the cookies cool for a minute. Leave them alone because they're too warm right now. And if you try to take them off, you'll break them. But yeah, that's it. Look what time it is. Less than 30 minutes and a fresh batch of cookies that everybody will love. All right, let me tell you about New Jersey. So New Jersey is really weird in regards to our state. First of all, it's tiny, right? 3 hours, maybe 4, you can get from top to bottom and out of the state. We're right along the coast. So there's North Shore and then there's South Shore. North Jersey is what most people associate New Jersey with. So North Jersey is up close to New York. And a lot of people live in North Jersey, but they work in New York. But they do that because even though New Jersey is one of the most expensive places to live, it's still cheaper than New York. So they live in North Jersey and then they commute to New York. New Jersey has one of the highest property taxes. You would die to hear some of the numbers that people pay for their taxes. Is what it is. Our taxes fund our schools, so we do have good schools. But so the North Jersey people are all for the North Jersey sports, right? They're for New York, actually. And when you watch TV, I'm not really a big sports fan, but the New Jersey, is it the Giants? The Giants and the Jets, they actually play in New Jersey. They're in New York, right? New York Giants, yes. New York Jets, but they play in New Jersey. MetLife Stadium is in East Rutherford, I think it is, New Jersey. Crazy, right? Now, where I live, I'm in South Jersey. So that's 2 hours away from me. Where I live, we are 20 minutes outside of Philadelphia. So where I live, everybody's like, go Birds, right? They're all for the Eagles and they're all for the 76ers and the Flyers and the Phillies. So it's really funny in New Jersey, this little state, that it is divided, especially sports wise. For me, it doesn't even matter. My husband was born in Wisconsin, so we are Green Bay Packer fans. just on account of, because that's where he was born. So, it makes me laugh how people get really funny with their sports. And New Jersey is also very, very different in regards to the beaches, the north beaches and the southern beaches. And there's like a cult following. And if you watch that show, Jersey Shore, that means nothing. And Sopranos, that's not really what you're looking at when you come to New Jersey. It's funny how you see somebody from a state and you automatically have these ideas of what it's like in that state, but you've never been there. So I got to give you a little bit of Jersey love. There is a good amount of people that live here. It is really nice geographically wise because within a 3-hour radius, we can get to New York City, Baltimore Harbor, Washington, D.C., Virginia. There's really a lot that we can get to for a day trip even, right? Or a little short weekend. So you have to come visit us sometime. What are we known for? New Jersey. New Jersey's the garden state, so we are known for our vegetables, tomatoes especially. There's something about the dirt and there's something about the water. Tomatoes, blueberries, cranberries, corn. I think those are the things that New Jersey is known the most for. Yeah, and Taylor, what's it called? I don't do this. Taylor ham, pork roll, that's what it is. All right, so a couple minutes went by. Now we're ready. I can touch these. Let me show you. Perfectly browned on the bottom. They're perfect every single time. And did you notice I didn't put any grease on this, right? There's no oil. Look how easy they come up. They don't even stick. So you have to try this recipe. Just pin it, write it down. I'll post it in a little bit as soon as I'm done. And you can screenshot it because I have it right here. Easy as chocolate chip cookies, all right? And they are totally easy. So I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to start coming live more often, my friends. So please, if you like this kind of content, food and things, go ahead and like and subscribe. My husband will be so happy. He will be like, I have my cookies again. All right. Let's see how the other ones are doing. I think I'm going to start making them big now. He's going to like them big. I think he really will. So yeah. All right. Let me just check real quick. All right. What's going on over here? Let me see if I missed any comments. And if I did, I apologize. The thing with the live is that, once the comments go up, you don't get to see them. And then you feel like you missed them. All right. I think I'm good. Okay. So let me know what other recipes you want me to try. Or if there's a recipe that you find, because, sometimes you buy like a recipe book for one recipe and you don't really like all the recipes. So if there's a recipe that you want to try, shoot it over to me. I'll try it for you. I have a nice little box of, I call it Tried and True. And I use that all the time. I'll tell you another thing that I really like. There's an app called Paprika, and it's spelled just the way the paprika spice is. Somebody pronounces that really different. Who was that? Oh, my husband's friend. He says paprika. I thought that was so cute. But there's an app called Paprika. It literally is $5 a year. That's it. And it's a place to organize all of your recipes, right? Because you know how like on Instagram and TikTok and YouTube, you'll see a really good recipe and you'll just save it. My question to you is, what does your saved file look like? Because if it looks anything like mine, I have so many things saved. Do you ever go back and look at that? So it's called Paprika. Check it out. I'm not sponsored, whatever, at $5. And you take your recipe, you have to save it or you open it in an external browser, and then you can save it to Paprika. And what it does is then it has it all listed. You can just search, cookies, and it shows you all of the ones that you saved. So it's an awesome place to put all of your recipes in one place, especially as you look online, right? Do you guys use Pinterest too? Pinterest is another search engine, I guess is the word that I would say, that you can use for recipes and things. So, all right, let's see how much time is left. Oh, less than 2 minutes on this one. I think these might be a touch more. They might need more time. We'll see when I take them out. But I will say that they're still puffy. Like, see how nice and puffy these are? They're not flat. And that's the thing that I like about them. So go home and make some chocolate chip cookies. And it's easy. The recipe, I mean, the thing you might not have in your home is chocolate chips. But other than that, I would think you would have flour, sugar, eggs, butter, baking soda, salt, vanilla, like normal stuff, right? It's one of those things that when you start craving something, you're like, do I have that? Did you guys ever make dump cakes? Do you know what a dump cake is? When I was pregnant a long time ago, I went to a party, one of my Princess House parties, and somebody made a dump cake. So a dump cake is called a dump cake because it's the easiest recipe in the world because you literally just dump things in. So you take a big, like a 13x9 pan, and you dump in a can of crushed pineapple, including the juices. If you don't think that you like pineapple, the taste doesn't really come that strong. You can also substitute it with applesauce if you want. So you dump in a can of pineapple, right? You dump in a can of pie filling, whatever flavor you want. It could be apple, cherry, blueberry, right? Whatever filling you want, the pie filling right on top of it. Then you take a box of white cake mix, yellow cake mix. It can be other ones if you want. And you just pour that right on top. You don't bake the cake. You don't add any of the other ingredients. You just push the dry ingredients all on top. Then you take 2 sticks of butter. I did not say this was a healthy one. And you cut it in slabs and you just put that all over the top. So that's why they call it a dump cake. You just dump and go. And you put it in a 350-degree oven for an hour. And first of all, your house smells incredible. And it tastes good. It doesn't get served like a cake. It's more like a cobbler. So you would put it with a spoon and then maybe put a little bit of ice cream on top of it. Anyhow, I first heard of that recipe when I was pregnant doing a party. And in my mind, I'm thinking, I have that at home. I have that at home. I have that at home. I made that recipe at like 7 o'clock the next morning. I might have eaten the whole thing by that day. All right, so I don't know if these are done or not. See, I think that they are because see how they're puffy, but see how the bottoms have a little bit. I'm just going to put them in for, I hope I don't mess up by doing this. I am going to put them in for 30 seconds more. And I think that they're going to be just as good as the other one. So yeah, with the dump cake, what you can do is if you like spice, so you can put in spice cake, right? And that would be like with apples. Or if you like devil's food cake, you can put in the blueberry or cherry and put in a chocolate or devil's food cake on top. So you can mix those patterns. But that one's a super easy recipe. Just make sure you keep those ingredients in the house. And if you get last minute company or if you need to bring something, that comes together so quick. Because I'm telling you, it's just dump and go. When my son was young, he needed a recipe for something. And he said to me, Mom, can you give me the recipe for that crap cake? And I was like, what? And he goes, the one where you just put all the crap in? I'm like, no, it's a dump cake. But it's a very old recipe. It's like a World War II recipe, right? That the ladies did. The ladies. All right, so here we go. This will be an experiment because these are big. And we'll see how they are. The other thing that you want to do is with the cost of electric and gas, you should try to use your oven at times where it's already being used. So what I mean by that is if you're going to cook a dinner in your oven, make your cookies directly afterwards. Your oven is already hot. You don't have to reheat it all over again, and you're not wasting energy. All right. So we are literally 30 minutes. I love it. I'm doing my 30-minute shows here. And I will take some pictures and show you. But like I said, this is pinned on my site already. It's one of the most popular recipes I have, world's easiest chocolate chip cookies. Trust me, you will love them. I'll see you next time.